You waltzing in here like you mean something. We're in the middle of a gang war.
Carmine Falcone's dead.
If we don't protect...
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Penguin Squad, where we are waddling in with episodes 4, 5, and 6 of HBO's The Penguin. Before we get into these episodes, I got 3 quick things I want to get into. Number 1, what the fuck? Why is this show so good? This show has no right to be as good as it is. What the fuck?
Yeah. We accidentally our way into talking about like one of the best TV shows of the year. Usually we just talk about comic book bullshit. Usually it's not that good.
It is comic book bullshit, but it's like actually good comic books to the point that it's not bullshit. What happened here? This is crazy. Number 2, I'm gonna be, referencing this a lot probably in the episode, and I referenced it a little bit in the last one, but I've just been really liking the like inside the episode things that they have been doing at the end of the episodes. I referenced them in the Last of Us vidcasts too, because they had some like interesting little nuggets, but a lot of it was just like, yeah, we wanted to adapt this thing from the game just right, and then we wanted to make this change here, something Israeli dog whistling, yeah. But this show, this show with the little featurettes they've been doing, they've been like really getting into production stuff, like talking about like why they're doing certain things with the camera, why they're like doing certain things with like set design and makeup. Like these are some like really cool featurettes. I definitely recommend watching them if you've been watching the show.
I haven't.
And then
sorry.
Yeah. Well, you should. They're good. And number 3, like between the theatrical release of episode 1 and then actually airing on HBO, IGN did like a series review, and they gave this show a 5 out of 10, and I'm gonna read this shit verbatim. The little like summary review they did for it. It says, "The limited series worships at the altar of The Godfather, Goodfellas, Scarface, The Sopranos, and Breaking Bad. But Sophia's family are no Corleones, Oz is no Tony, and in these 8 episodes, they're not given the time or space to get anywhere close to those crime drama landmarks." Now, when I read that, I had only seen episode 1, and I thought, okay, this episode's pretty cool, but I guess that means that it's just not gonna go where I'm hoping it will go. And now we're 6 episodes in, and I'm just gonna say it. That is a bad, disingenuous review. Fuck whoever wrote that.
Maybe they just really didn't like the show.
No shit, they're not gonna have the same space to work with as like 5-6 season dramas, like,
or movies.
Yeah. Well, The Godfather was 2 long-ass movies.
The Godfather was 3 long-ass movies.
2 good long-ass movies, and then 3.
Hey, 3 is okay.
3 is okay. I haven't watched any of them in a long time, to be fair. But anyway, that all out of the way, we're going to get started with these episodes. Starting with...
Yes, let's get started, Tim. I'm the Penguin.
Oh my god, that really hurt. Why did I do that?
Yeah, the Penguin did that in episode 6 to torture somebody. Why would you do that to yourself?
That's like a light play. I'm actually crying. I started tearing up. That really hurt.
Yeah, don't do that.
Sorry, go ahead.
So anyway, we're starting with episode 4, Cent'anni.
Oh.
This is the episode where we see Sophia's backstory. We start with like the end of episode 3, but like we're seeing like what went down with the Maronis, encountering them. The Nadia breaks it to Sophia that it was in fact Oz who killed her brother, and then we see the getaway. And she's just kind of left alone here in this vulnerable moment, and then we see her flashbacks to before she is brought over to Arkham, and we see sort of before the light has left her eyes, basically.
Yeah. She's nice to Oz. She's like
Yeah.
working on philanthropic.
Full on rapist.
No, Tim, you can't say that.
I had to do the Always Sunny joke. I'm sorry.
What's that word?
Philanthropist.
Thank you. I can't like. What's the word for when rich people want to feel good about themselves? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. She's very nice and philanthropic. And you touched on this. I wanted to bring this up. I think something that's really interesting about this show is that, like, it is a show about sort of underdogs who are disrespected and who want to seize the respect that they think they deserve. But we also see that, like, once these people are sort of in positions of power, their patience and respect for the people underneath them is limited. Like, at the beginning of the episode, like, Antonio is calling Oz the Penguin, and she's like, "Hey, don't call him that. That's fucked up." And then a few minutes later, she's just like, "Shut the fuck up. You are my driver, and that is all you will ever be." And we kind of see it with Oz and Vic too, where, like, he in episode 3, he's like telling him, "Hey, you should stand up for yourself. Take up space." But when he's not in the mood and Vic starts stuttering, it's just like, "Jesus, kid, spit it out." I just think that's interesting. That,
the
like,
stuttering thing. Yeah.
I think it's interesting how, like, we see how, like, they're kind of that, like, they're talking about how they want to seize respect, but the amount they're willing to give is limited. It's just an interesting lens, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's interesting how, like, they complain about not being respected, but then once they get their power, they're like immediately like, "I don't give a fuck. Why would I give a fuck? Who gives a shit about anybody?" It's interesting how, like, respect for me, but not for thee thing kind of goes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And we see some flashbacks to when Sophia's mom is hanged, and we see a young Carmine Falcone who is not played by John
Turturro. He's played by Mark Strong. Can we please talk about why John Turturro didn't come back? Did you see this?
I didn't see it, but Cody mentioned it, that he didn't want to be in the show because of its violence against women.
Buddy, you on screen in The Batman almost strangle a woman to death. If anything, the amount of violence Falcone does in this show is tame by comparison.
Yeah. And, like...
Also, can we his Big Lebowski character? I mean...
Nobody fuck with the Jesus. Kids, dude.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
I'll play,
but, like,
I'll play a pedophile, but I won't play someone who abuses women.
Yeah, I mean, he did say, though, like, he got enough of that in the Batman. He didn't want to do it again, which I guess is not unfair, but, like, I don't know. Is it really an HBO miniseries if John Turturro's not there?
Yeah, because he's done it before. It's so... Mark Strong's good. He's missing that charismatic slime bagginess that Turturro brought.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but I mean, yeah, Mark Strong is good for the little bit of the role that he had to play. So yeah, and this is alluded to in episode 3, but we really see it in action in episode 4, where Carmine has killed all these people and framed Sophia. She gets put into Blackgate.
No, that's Arkham. That was Arkham.
Yeah. She gets put into Arkham, and she is broken. She's broken over the course of the episode. Like, we see her going into all this electroshock therapy and gradually tearing away at the walls to reveal the walls of her house, just showing sort of the decay of her mind.
We should also bring up, though, while in Arkham, this is, I could not fucking believe my ears when they brought this up. Of all the DC villains to adapt, they did a fucking Magpie adaptation, which marks the third live action Batman show without Batman in it to do Magpie. Which, listen, if I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have 15 cents, which isn't a lot. But it's weird it's happened 3 fucking times, considering Magpie's a very obscure character.
Yeah, like I hadn't seen that far into Gotham, and so like I wasn't super familiar with that character, but I knew the name, and I looked it up earlier, and I realized it was because she was in the cartoon Beware the Batman, which is actually a pretty solid show. You should check it out. If you watched the David Ayer Suicide Squad and want to see Katana done right, watch Beware the Batman.
That's pretty accurate. This Katana sword captures the spirit of her enemies. Is that the best line reading they got? Sorry, continue.
Yeah. They show Magpie, and they show Magpie being given the bliss, and we find out that it's because she's been giving them information about Sophia, and Sophia pummels the shit out of her. And yeah, after 10 years in Arkham, she comes out, and
10 years. I'm
10
sorry.
Years.
10 fucking years. For not even threatening to turn her father in, just to like try and see what's going on.
Yeah. It's nuts. And but then we come back to the present. She comes into the family dinner in the iconic yellow dress. She's got the brat dress on. It's so good. Like something that Cody was talking about when we were watching the episode. She's just like, Oz is a stronger man than me because I would simply do whatever Sophia wanted.
Same. I almost cut out the bit in the last Penguin Squad episode where I talk about how I think she is, but oh my god, Christine Milioti is a very beautiful woman.
Yeah, she's rocking it. She's slaying. There's this aspect of the character that like we didn't really talk about on the last one, but was something that I always found very interesting, is that whenever we see her eating, she's just like rah, 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 rah.
She's chowing fucking down.
Yeah. And like before the Arkham stuff, she's refined, but after Arkham, she's just like, I'll take this, fills the wine glass all the way up. I fucking love that. And then she does her toast. She basically gives them a fuck you for sending in letters to talk about how I was mentally unstable. The only person who helped me was my brother, who you all flew in to mourn. And then she goes, I realize I'm not a part of this family, so I'm starting my next chapter tomorrow, and we'll get to that later. But then end of the episode, she lures the little girl into the greenhouse with
lures is a very negative connotation word. She's doing that to protect her.
yeah, exactly. She's bringing her in there because she doesn't want her to be a part of what's about to happen. And morning comes, and she walks out of the green room or the greenhouse, and everybody is gassed and dead, and she's just walking around in this yellow dress, and just such a great, powerful scene. And she gets the gun on VD and is just like, put your pants on, we need to talk. Yeah, great episode. And
it's the Sophia episode, very minimum odds.
It is the Sophia episode. It is fully her episode. I think it's a great episode. Anything you want to say before we move on?
No.
Okay. All right, let me look at the episode.
Homecoming.
Real quick. Homecoming. Spider-Man. I want pictures of Spider-Man.
J.K. Simmons in this episode.
Yeah. Hanging all 11 inches. Saturday night. Okay.
Good picture.
But yeah, let's move on to episode 5. Homecoming.
Shit happens in this fucking episode, let me tell you.
Shit happens. If we weren't already at war with episodes 1 through 3, we are at war now.
War is warring. They are warring.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of stuff happens. You want to start us off on this one?
You know what? Yeah, let's get into it. Oz decides that, well, shit, Sophia knows, so I can't rely on the Falcons now. Time to do my own thing. He apparently already has crew that's loyal to him. That was a bit of a reveal in this episode. His crew loyal to him. And using this crew, they kidnap Maroni's son, Taj.
Yep.
And they say, hey, we'll give him back if you give us the bliss. So they give him back. And they keep being like, why is he wet? Why is he het? And I'm thinking, well, he just washed his hands. No other reason. It turns out, no, it's because he's covered in oil. Gasoline. And they light him and his mother on fire. And one of the most violent fucking things I've seen in a TV show. Like, holy shit.
They burn the shit out of little Taj and Nadia, which we didn't talk a lot about Nadia, but she is a great sort of
she was
villain character. She was, but fantastically played. Like just that 30 pack a day voice, I love it. They get killed. This is a show that holds no punches, which is something I'm going to be talking more about in this episode and the next one.
The Batman Part 2 is going to seem very tame in comparison.
Yeah, we'll fucking see what happens with the Batman Part 2. Yeah, this scene leads to them, the fucking Bliss is in the truck and the sprinklers and shit starts going off. They have to get out of there, and they get out, and all but 2 buckets of the Bliss is just ruined, and they're just like, we're fucked. We can't.
I ain't got no bliss. They took away my bliss.
We can't build an empire off 2 fucking buckets. And like I was talking about earlier, one of the things they were talking about in this featurette is like the difference in the camera work for Oz's scenes versus Sophia's scenes. Sophia's scenes are like very like dolly and glide cam heavy because she's in control, and Oz's are all like handheld, shaky shots because he is just like losing his grip. Throughout the episode.
That's the type of filming techniques I use.
Yeah.
If you watch my movies, you'll notice I use shaky cam when a character isn't in control anymore.
It's just like wild listening to these things. It's just like, oh man, they're using actual filmmaking techniques.
How low are our fucking standards? Jesus goddamn Christ.
That's a thing. I was like saying, I don't know how much of this show is actually great and how much of it just being the bar is at an all-time low.
I do think it's actually great. I do think it's actually great.
I think it is actually great, but I do think part of it is probably just that we're so hungry.
It's funny because I mean I don't think you're watching it. The Agatha show was actually surprisingly great too in its own right. If you
That's
like
what I'm hearing.
if you like comic book shows, you're in like it's a pretty good thing right now. Like Agatha, dude, might be the second best Marvel show after Loki.
Yeah, like I don't really care much about the Marvel Disney Plus shows, but I do kind of want to watch Agatha and
It's
Echo.
good. Agatha's good, and I liked Echo.
Yeah, and like I did watch WandaVision already, so I have the setup. But anyway, yeah, Sophia's in control. She takes her mother's maiden name. She is now Sophia Gigante.
Oh, Gigante!
And again, this show pulls no punches. She's having her meeting and just fucking domes Beatty. Like my mouth was agape when that happened. I was like, holy shit.
Same, because so many times in the show I went, oh, they're gonna kill Michael Kelly here. Oh, they're gonna kill Michael Kelly here. Then after he survived the fucking gas thing, I went, oh, I guess he's just gonna be alive for the rest of the show. Nope.
Not much longer. So yeah, she gets her crew, and
using socialism, I should add.
Yeah.
She says, your labor has been feeding the rich for too long. Now you will own the value of your labor. This is why this show is a Marxist, Leninist, Trotskyist masterpiece that will be talked about along with the Communist Manufacturer and fucking whatever Fidel Castro wrote.
Yeah, no, that was something that Cody brought up too, is like this is like the closest they could get to like proper socialism in a comic book show.
It's very leftism. It's very like it's very much so. It's just it's leftism.
Yeah. And we got more of Oz losing control. Eve has rejected him now. And then he goes to his mother, and his mother is just slipping more and more into her dementia. She rejects him. And then they finally find a place to build their Bliss Empire. And that's sort of where the episode concludes.
Very
and,
Breaking Bad-esque.
Yeah, this is where Oz finally has like a moment where he's taken control. And we got anything more for this one?
No, I think we're safe to move on.
Yeah, episode 5 was great, and so was episode 6.
Excellent shit. Gold Summit.
Yeah, episode 6, Gold Summit. We are welcomed to the Gold Summit in this episode.
First episode directed by the actor Kevin Bray. I'm sorry, not actor, director Kevin Bray. He did a lot of music videos back in the day.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Oh, also, an aspect of last episode that I forgot that's important here. So Sophia is uniting with Sal. They're uniting against Oz, and this is where we start to see people getting strung up, pinkies chopped off.
First big time jump from the last episode, but my dad also pointed out, because I've been watching the show, my dad, he pointed out to me that fungi grows fucking fast, so maybe it's not that big of a time jump.
Yeah, that was another thing we were talking about. Was like it does seem odd that they were able to kick things off quite so quickly with only 2 buckets, but like, yeah, maybe that place was just a really good environment for it. Yeah, so we got that going on. Oz's mom is losing it more and more, and they're in this little shithole condemned apartment hiding out, and it's freezing because the power in that whole block is just out, and Oz decides to do something about that.
Which, the power being out, he goes in and he does the, and I actually did it. I actually started pulling on my thing lightly as I was watching the episode, and I was like, oh god, that would be incredibly painful.
Yeah, we got pliers at my work, and I can't imagine how much that would fucking hurt.
Try it.
No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You got me there.
You got me. Yeah, I loved that bit. I loved how, like, it goes into his character of, like, wanting to build a name for himself and wanting respect, but it's also just, like, a very old school gangster thing to just be like, I'm not some fucking guy. I'm Oswald Cobb. You can tell him I sent you. Pull out. You got more room than you think. Yeah, I love that. Just him taking control of the situation. Finally getting the power on for his mom. Sophia finds Eve, confronts her to find out where Oz is hiding, and Eve's just like, you can do whatever you want to me, just don't go after my girls. Which is great.
It's worth remembering that Sophia still basically the media campaign against her was fierce. Everyone still thinks she is the hangman.
Yeah, and like she plays into that too. She's just like, that's not who you are, though, is it? So like you have this sort of mental chess thing going on between them, which I think that was a great scene.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Yes, leaves the chat. What to go on next? Then we also have Squid. Fucking hate Squid.
Squid's back, baby.
He's on to what Vic is doing, and he wants in, and Vic sort of has to try and pay him off, but he's not buying in. So he's just like, you take me to Oz. What's his fuck? So he's just like, no. I'll wait. So they start to walk down, and again, pulls no punches. He just comes out with the gun, shoots him, and runs away, just mortified by what he just had to do.
Yeah, this is a big this is a breaking moment for Vic, I think.
Yeah.
This is like the not getting on the bus was like the no turning back moment, but in hindsight I feel like maybe this is the you're in it now moment.
Yeah, and like this looks pretty fatal. But something interesting that Cody brought up is like he's very green, and like theoretically you could maybe survive a bullet to the neck.
You would
if
need,
it doesn't hit the right place.
In theory, yes, you would pass out because the amount of blood loss would be horrifying, but neck injuries aren't as fatal as you think. Like famously in the first Saw movie, Danny Glover gets his throat sliced open and he survives that because it didn't hit any arteries.
Yeah.
Someone would need to find him very quick and get him to a hospital, though.
Yeah. Realistically, that probably would be a fatal wound in real life, but like knowing that like Vic is green and this was his first time trying to kill somebody, like this could be something that could bite him in the ass, which that could maybe be interesting. I don't know. We'll see if that turns its head around.
Meanwhile, all this is happening. Oz's mom is fully brain melted.
Yeah, to the point that she is like, I want you to help me die so that I don't become I don't become one of those broads who's just shitting themselves. Like she wants to go on her own terms, and like Oz is horrified that this is all happening with his mom, and that's just in the back of his mind while he's trying to do the work he needs to do to take control. And that's a big factor in him getting the power back going. And then we have the Golden Summit moment, where he gets all of the gangsters he can grab, and is just like, listen, they don't know your fucking name, and rallies them. It's just this moment of everybody in this gathering hates each other, but they're gonna work together to take control. And we are welcomed to the Gold Summit.
Yep. And yes, we can talk about Sophia showing up at the end.
Yeah, let's just get into the end of the episode where Power comes back. Power comes back on, and Vic and Francis are celebrating, doing a little dance, and then we have the dolly out that reveals Sophia with a crowbar. And I'm seeing that just like, no!
I literally
out
loud shouted, no! Because you forget that she found out where he is. You forget that.
Yeah, and yeah, that's where the episode leaves us off, and we'll find out. Well, by the time this episode comes out, we'll know what actually happened.
What immediately happens after episode 8? Because this is Sunday afternoon when we're recording this. The new episode premieres in like 8 hours.
Yeah. So we'll know by the time this vidcast has come out, but right now we're just like at the edge of our seat.
Yeah.
For this.
My dad brought up a really great prediction that ties the ending, what's coming next, and the stuff with Oz's mom all together. Oz's mom explicitly tells Oz to kill her if it comes to that, you know? So here's what everyone's talking about how Colin Farrell, everyone's going to hate the Penguin by the end of this show. I think Oz is going to be presented with a scenario where he either gets what he wants in this drug thing or his mom dies.
Yeah.
And he's going to let his mom die. And that's why everyone's going to hate him.
Yeah. That could be it. I definitely don't see Francis making it to the end.
I still think Vic's gonna die, but who knows?
Yeah, Vic is a strong maybe, and I'm not really sure what's gonna happen with Sophia or Sal.
So I think Sal is definitely gone. Sophia could live. I could see Sophia living. Honestly, I think what could happen, because the worst fucking ending for her would be if somehow Oz orchestrates her ass going back to Arkham again. And maybe that's why we'll hate Oz. He kills his mom, Vic dies, sends Sophia back to Arkham. I'd fucking hate him if that shit happened.
Yeah, and yeah, I definitely think Oz is making it to the Batman Part 2 because they couldn't, like, kill a character that significant off in between movies in a show.
Yeah, because then someone's going to watch the next movie and be like, where's the Penguin?
Yeah. But I'm very interested to see, like, how it's going to play into the Batman Part 2.
So, speaking of Batman, I'm going to bring up, if I were to critique this show for one thing, and it's a very minor thing to critique. I mostly think this show's amazing. It's just, we're starting to reach the point where all this shit is happening, and I find the fact that Batman hasn't even been given, like, a passing mention kind of weird. Not just like all this crime underworld shit happening, but also the stuff with City Hall being corrupt. Like maybe at least a news story that says Bruce Wayne is lobbying the federal government for relief or something. I don't know, just something that acknowledges his presence. The lack of presence is a little weird, is all I'm saying.
I get that, but I also get maybe what they're doing is like they've seen all of these shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Powerless, where it's just like they mention the big characters, but they can't show them. It might be a thing where they're trying to avoid that because it seems cheesy, but I do think he's a significant enough character in the world that like maybe a passing mention
would have made more sense, especially because, listen, Tim, How many fucking Batman shows without Batman in it have we had? Like,
I mean, Gotham had Bruce. He wasn't Batman. But
he
was
was a
Bruce.
little baby.
He was a little guy.
I do love the Alfred in that show, though. Great Alfred.
Yeah.
It's a fun Alfred.
Never watched past season 2.
We're doing our Gotham vidcast starting now. Tim, what did you think of season 1 of Gotham?
I remember liking it. Fish Mooney was cool.
I don't know if I finished it.
Um,
That show has
so
a
yeah,
great penguin, though.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. That's why I did my bit. But yeah, I guess that basically concludes these episodes. Any final thoughts?
Christina Milioti is a very attractive woman. I'm sorry. Every time she's on screen, I can be like, oh.
She
Like
is
when
a
she-
very attractive woman.
When she was in that
It is
yellow
true.
dress, I like her middle of her speech. I started zoning out like a fucking guy in a cartoon movie where he's like, "Dude, pretty lady, good."
Yeah. Yep. I mean, absolutely. She's very pretty.
I might cut that out. I don't know. No, I'm leaving it in.
She's very pretty. She's very powerful, and I'm looking forward to seeing
I like.
where her story goes.
I'm attracted to powerful women.
Yeah. I love the look into the camera for that one.
Powerful women. I'm single.
There we go. Call Tanner at
314-5.
No! I can't bleep this one out.
I'm editing this one. Don't worry, I'll cut it out. That's it. That's all I got. Let's bring her home.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. This is a great set of episodes. I'm excited to see what happens with the final 2 episodes, and excited to see where that leads us into the underworld of Gotham in the upcoming Batman movies. But you know who's not from the underworld of Gotham?
Christina Milioti.
She actually is, but who's not is you, the person watching this episode of the Penguin Squad or listening. These are on the audio platforms now. So
They were
thank you for
always
tuning
short
in.
podcasts. I don't know why we weren't doing that from the start.
Live and learn. Hanging on the edge of tomorrow. If you're listening on the audio platforms, give us a review. Tell us how we're doing. We love feedback. We just want to hear from the fans. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. Leave a comment below. Let us know. What did you think of these episodes of The Penguin? Are you excited to see the final 2 episodes? Where do you think this is going to take us going forward to the Batman Part 2? Comment below. Let us know. And while you're down there, hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And hit the bell icon to get notifications when we upload stuff. Tanner?
Patreon. I'm just reminding you.
I was gonna do it.
Sorry,
do
you
it.
did it last time. I was just.
Yeah. I know. And if you want to support us further, why don't you donate to our Patreon? We got 2 tiers. The $5 tier gets you some commentary tracks. We've talked about Space Jam, Sorcerer's Apprentice, Sonic the Hedgehog, and The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Got a couple more coming out. You did one with Rain that might happen.
He needs to upload the audio for it, and also he wasn't wearing headphones for it. So if I hear the movie in his audio, I'm not going to be able to release that. That'd be a copyright problem.
Understandable. Have a great day. But yeah, we're definitely going to be making some more. And if you want to hear us talk while you watch a movie, just donate to that $5 tier. And if you donate to the $10 tier, you get that and a shout out at the end of these videos and podcasts. So many thanks to Jason Secord and Tanya Craft. We appreciate your patronage. And if you want to be just as cool as they are, donate to that $10 tier and get that shout out.
That's a couple of coffees a month, man. Just do it.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I shouldn't do that. I actually hate it when someone's like, it's just a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee. Fuck you.
Okay, with that said, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Penguin Squad. And remember, don't fuck with the Sullivans. Farewell.
I'm a-
Slid my my ticket across the table and I said, sorry guys, I gotta see about a girl.